What's going on, guys? It's Uncle Muscles. How you guys doing? I just tried to record one of these videos, and I've never really done this before, so I'm trying it again. I've never done really a reaction video to my own stuff, and this is more like a director's commentary of, like, this is pre-recorded video, and I'm talking over it. It's not even really my reaction. But what I want to talk about are basically two things I do to kill hackers in Overwatch, and I've noticed this mainly in Widow headshot lobbies. I've been playing Overwatch since like 2016, and I've never been as good at Overwatch as I am now. And it's, I mean, I on my brand new account, I've gotten to Diamond 2, and I barely played on it comparatively to my other stuff. I could never even get out of like Plat, essentially, like low Plat on my other account. I get a lot of Q stacking. This is something I've noticed a lot in game, and that's pretty much why at the moment I'm really just playing Widow headshot. I really like it just to keep my aiming ability strong. Like, I think Widow headshot's a really, really good aim trainer. I prefer it compared to like Aim Lab or anything else. Just Overwatch in general is a really, really good FPS. It's very crisp. And then Aim Lab itself, or sorry, Overwatch headshot is just, in my opinion, there's nothing better than trying to click someone's head. It really just really refines your aim to a point where it's, the muscle memory is perfect. Like, if you can really get a good headshot in Widow HS, then you can really feel the game. Like, your hand is an extension of your eye almost. It's really, I like using it to get warmed up. It just really gets me in the zone. Anyway, enough circle jerking the Widow headshot. What I've noticed is that a lot of people hack in it, and this is pretty much once I started calling out the hackers. You'll notice I called out like Fariha and Gail Adelaide in previous videos, which wasn't like, I'm not doing this for views. It's just I really think that my aim is very good, and then over the years I've come up with like tactics in order to kind of like identify, now at this point, kill hackers, which is really, this is the breakthrough. Like, I've been waiting for this for a long time. So what you'll notice what I'm doing right now is I'm hiding my crosshair behind a rock. I think there's somebody there. I think I probably heard them. I can't really tell right now. I don't have the audio turned up yet. There's somebody there. Oh, okay, bam. I probably heard them spawn. They weren't there. So I hide my crosshair behind a rock. And the reason why I do this is because when you aim just out into the open, that becomes maybe not visual for a hacker, but their bodies start reacting to it. Now, I don't know if this is a whitelist or a blacklist feature. Like, maybe you can have people added to it so the ray of their reticle, like the straight line being shot out from where your perspective is in that direction, that causes like some type of area effect where a player won't walk into. But this is what I've noticed over the years, is that essentially you control the hack is actually controlled. The auto movement is controlled by the player that's aiming at the person using the hack, right? It's auto movement. So if I'm aiming at a user, their player is going to move based to where I'm aiming. And so I figured out how to manipulate this. And I don't really think, at least in the immediacy, there's going to be a way for hackers to figure this out. So I'd like people to try to implement this in their own games. And if they do Widow headshot, let me know what this does for you. But my method now is not just to hide my crosshair. And the reason why I said before is to hide it so the player can't detect where you're moving. But I realize that not only are you hiding the crosshair, but if you're able to manipulate the crosshair in a way that the enemy user's hack detection forces them to stand still, you can almost get a kill every time. And so now it's been almost very difficult for me to get a negative KD inside of Widow headshot, because what I'm doing now, and this is the big secret, sorry for the long wait and the suspense, but I will, and there's actually something else I'll point out in a second, but let me just get to this first point. Keep your crosshair in between wherever they are strafing back toward and their head. And so depending on where you're standing on the map, you want to either keep your crosshair to the left of their head or the right of their head. It's really just on the inside of wherever they're trying to stand. But you'll notice I'm doing this right now. Like, I'm not even really aiming. I never really aim at the player. And that's because when you aim at somebody, it's going to make them start moving. So I will hide my crosshair as much as possible behind the closest, non-clippable object. Right? Something that my crosshair is not going to show through on the other side. Like windows and stuff, I don't know if that works, to be honest. I don't know how it looks to the developers. But what I do is, like, you'll see right now, like, I'm feeding my crosshair right in between where their head is and where they're trying to stand. And, like, you think, like, oh, yeah, that's kind of, like, duh. But a lot of times what you'll do is keep your crosshair on the outside of people, thinking that they're going to walk into it. And that's like kind of intuitive. Like you want to catch them going into it. But if the hack detection is on, where like the auto movement's there, they'll never walk into your crosshair. It has nothing to do with you being visual or standing outside. It's that their body literally won't walk into it. And so this is like you can manipulate this. And it almost sounds like I'm the hacker now. But I'm not the one running any side saw. Like, just if you don't want to die like this, don't hack in Overwatch. But you'll notice that everybody that you do this to dies like this. And you're like, holy shit. Everybody's fucking hacking. What the fuck? Excuse my language. I'm trying not to swear in these. But the reality is that, like, it's overwhelming how many people hack in Overwatch. And the fact that now you can kind of, like, I'm giving you a method. You watch how many people I'm killing. Like, I'm not trying. You'll look at my KD at the end of this is ridiculous. I'm reading chat, talking smack to the other players in chat. I don't know if people are watching my stream or not. I'm assuming that the people who are hacking me hate me, and I'm just talking trash to them nonstop the entire time. This is literally what my stream is. It's not the best content, but I don't really know what to do because I get Q-stacked otherwise. So I might as well just try to figure out who my actual enemy is and then just talk complete nonsense and be as offensive as possible to who I think is my enemy is and just see if I can get them to react in game. And this happens all of the time. Like, I will talk crap on my stream and then they will start typing to me in game. It's like, okay, I have one viewer, but clearly you're watching, and I'm not the only viewer. Shout out to Crit Scan. Anyway, so I mean, hacking's a big problem. Now, how many hackers there are in Overwatch? I think this is somewhat indicative. If you notice in the report system recently, there was an option to report bots, and then they took that out. I was really happy that they added that. And I'm very sad that they took it out. But I think in reality, it shines some light on the problem with Overwatch. It's not really so much the toxicity or the matchmaking or the MMR system. I think really what happened with Overwatch that's a big problem is that they made Overwatch free to play. And there's almost no restriction on making accounts. And so, which is nice, and they were talking about how they have like millions of users in Overwatch, but it's really probably just like at this point like the same 5,000 players. I don't know the extensiveness of how, or the extent of how many people are hacking or how easy it is to hack. If you go on GitHub, I've mentioned this in other videos, there's like multi-boxing software that works for Overwatch. I just mentioned in a video recently about Critical Hit. There was 2 other hacking softwares I came across. I did a video about it. I never released the video. It's in the video somewhere. I'll have to go back and look at it because I was learning about it as I was doing the video. It's not like I knew about any of this stuff as I did it. The most recent video, it was like, look, I just recorded 2 videos on this. I just found out about it. It's weird. But those 2 videos, like, I didn't know about any of this stuff until then. And it's just me kind of like rambling, so I haven't released them, kind of like this video. But well, there's 2 other softwares, like I said, that I'm going to go into. They're probably defunct at this point. I think a lot of the idea, and you'll notice I've kind of directed people towards that recent video, the wiggle that killed Tarkov, GOAT. The hacking community is very tight-lipped about a lot of stuff, and they're not going to admit to anything. The moment they start admitting to stuff, that means hacks are real. It's kind of like the mafia. It's like when you ask like your Uncle Joey, like, hey, Uncle Joey, why do you have blood on your hands? Is the mafia real? He's like, the mafia's... Are you in the mafia? He's like, no, the mafia's not real. The mafia's not a real thing. They made that up to discredit Italians. It's like, no, Uncle Joey, you have blood on your hands. There's a tooth stuck in the cuff of your pleated suit pants. You have a tooth there. How did that tooth get in your pants? Oh, the mafia's not real. No. There's hackers in Overwatch, all right? Okay, there's a lot of hackers in Overwatch. In fact, there might be more hackers in Overwatch than there are players. Now, if you want, like I said, you want to get full tinfoil hat, Overwatch, Battle.net is aware of this, and more likely than not, there's somebody as far as the community management that's letting this all slide. So, whatever. I don't know how big the issue is, and everybody wants to call me crazy. That's fine. I don't really care. But please try to implement this in your games. If you're having an issue when you notice people are hacking, hide your crosshair on the inside of wherever they're trying to strafe to. This will make it so this will stop their character from actually moving. Now, there actually are better versions of hacks that really make movement completely erratic. and it's like very difficult to predict where they're going to be on top of that, but there's only so many grapples you get, and there's only so much head wiggling you can do, and there's only so much prediction that you can have, so you have to kind of use your judgment. I've noticed this in a lot of the higher level gameplays, and it would kind of make sense, because why not let everybody use hacks, but have the really, really nice version of the hacks be given out to those top 500 players that are going to make money, and maybe somehow funnel that money back to the original developers of the hacks, and making sure that the community stays secret, blah, 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 big conspiracy. I don't know. I really don't know how deep it goes, but the reality is that, like, there's money to be made. I've mentioned this before in the past. You can use Overwatch hacks in non-regulated Overwatch League games, plus a lot of these games are probably, and those are going to be bet on like, mybookie.ag or, like, you know, Bovada or whatever. Like, you can bet on Overwatch games that are not Overwatch League. Overwatch League are the ones that, from my understanding, the only ones that have any actual real anti-cheat detection. And even then, it doesn't really matter. I just saw a streamer today switch their mouse firmware live on stream because they weren't able to get headshots. So you tell me what's going on. Twitch.tv/unclemusclez. Check me out. Love you guys. Appreciate it. Catch you guys soon. Bye.